I think one of the things you have to do, let's take a step back and think about Mike Nesbitt. Mike Nesbitt stood up on Friday night and said that he stood for a cross-community, non-sectarian vote, and he has left the stage. What we have seen in this election, there may be some gains for Alliance. Yes, I think Nicholas is right. Those smaller parties are there because they get the fifth seat. They largely scrape in. We have somebody who tried to change the dynamic of politics in this society and has left the political stage. And what we had this morning with the 5 political parties was rowing and fighting. The 2 main political parties stood on a platform of keeping each other out. One platform from Sinn Féin was, we are mistreated, and that obviously put a lot of fire under their electoral campaign. The DUP ran a campaign which was, if you vote this way, so the famous line, if you vote for the SDLP, you get Gerry Adams, okay? That was that. We have somebody here who tried to change the dynamic of politics,
which
reflects
many
people's...
2 years ago in the Westminster election, he was part of a pact with the DUP.
No, I understand that, but the point is that there's a voice, somebody who stood up and said, let's reflect a significant part of our society, because we engage with each other, Protestant, Catholic, Unionist, non-Unionist, Republican, whatever we are, in different ways. People work together in ways that never worked before. People socialise in ways that never worked before. There's a mismatch between the politics we have, which is driven by this fire and this anger and this constitutional issue, which does not reflect parts of the society in which we live. And one voice for that has now left the stage. I think that's really, really regrettable. The middle ground here has not achieved very much at all.
Patricia?
No, I disagree. I think it's somewhat disrespectful to the electorate to say we want people to come out and vote, we want people to be engaged with the political process, but we don't want you to vote that way. You know, we want you to vote in the middle ground and how we tell you. People came out and voted because they were angry. They were angry either for all the reasons that we've talked about. I think that the electorate have shown that the opposition position of taking an opposition has failed. You can't say we only had 3 months to operate it. You should never have gone into it if you didn't have a plan. You didn't have an alternative programme for government, an alternative budget. So that has failed.
Can I ask you about Mike personally, because of course you work with him as a victims commissioner. On a personal level, are you sorry to see him go?
I think he is a loss to the Ulster Unionist Party because he encouraged a debate that perhaps that party had never had, and from that point of view, you know, it gave them an opportunity to look at how they were doing business. But I fundamentally believe that he would have taken them back if he had remained. He would have taken them back.
These parties didn't lose because they were in opposition. These parties were damaged after 1998 that they were the first partners in government. They lost half of their votes. Each of them respectively lost half of their votes 10, 12 years ago that went to the Sinn Féin or that went to the DUP. Opposition is not what has damaged them here. What has damaged them here is a dysfunctional relationship between the 2 main parties in the Assembly, and that dysfunctional relationship worked for them in terms of maximising their vote. That is what we have observed over the last few days.